Hello, beloved souls. This is Nadine. Thank you for watching vlog number 5 about my adventures in Adrigole and Glengarriff. Adrigole and Glengarriff are in the very south of the Republic of Ireland. We started off traveling from Dublin with the train to Cork, Kent. When we arrived there, we had a rather bad awakening because the bus driver in Cork from the company Bus Iron didn't want to take me and Marjorie with her to Bantry, where we originally would have met with Derek, who you just saw. But Derek was kind enough to just jump in the car, drive 2 hours to Cork to get us, pick us up in his Ford T with his dog Bella, and drive all the way 2 hours back to Adrigole, where he lives. We enjoyed the car ride very much, and I just had to film Bella because she always jumps up and puts her head out of the Ford and gasps for air and enjoys riding the car like that. Marjorie and I spent our week in the Perrinin. That's a bed and breakfast in Glengarriff. And Glengarriff is like a typical summer touristy city. So I was told by a local that during the winter, Glengarriff usually falls in a deep winter sleep because there are no tourists around and the shops and restaurants are mostly closed. It's a very lovely town situated right by the coast. It contains like the usual things you would see, a lot of colorful houses along a main street and a food court where there is also a market area where local artists sell their arts and crafts. As you by now might know, or if you watch this the first time, you will see Marjorie and I really like to explore and do a lot of walks around the area. And on our 2 days off from a whole week, we had a lot of time to explore Glengarriff. The first thing we saw right when driving through Glengarriff was the bamboo park, and I really looked forward to get in there and see what this is all about. It turns out that the entry price for adults is €7, which I thought was rather expensive, but when I entered and saw what it contains, and that it magically just has all of these wonderful plants and little pathways to the left, to the right, with a variety of flowers and trees and bamboos, of course. I returned 2 more times, so in total I was there 3 times and paid €21. And I thought that this was a rather humane charge for the variety you get to experience. I can really, with all my heart, recommend walking through and exploring yourself if you ever go to Glengarriff. Of course, there are pop trees and everything that an island and the variety of plants on an island has to offer. Also, like the name suggests, it has a variety of bamboo plants as well. But what felt magical to me for the most part was the little pathways left and right where you could explore not only the nature and the flowers and plants, but also old remains of stone walls. You could like promenade along the coastline with an ocean view as well. There are, as you can see, several picnic areas with grass or underneath rooftops and shelters, as well as a lot of stone walls as well. Um, the park also, which was surprisingly to me, um, was housing private houses. So you literally just walked over the ground of private houses, like you could see in their living room, but there were arrows suggesting you should go through there. And it was, to me, a very surprising effect, but nonetheless, it made it even more special to be able to experience it because these people opened their grounds to the visitors of the bamboo park, and I really thought that was a very, very nice gesture to not keep that kind of nature and that kind of um, ambience to themselves, but open it up to everyone who wanted to see it. And I can, like I suggest, absolutely um, recommend to explore for yourself if you're ever lucky enough to go to the south of Ireland. So with the bamboo park, we just spent approximately 1 hour there because it's not really huge, but there are a lot of, like I said, paths left and right to explore. So you can easily, if you're a photographer, for example, or if you're there with a dog, spend 1.5 hours per visit. And as I said, I was there 3 times, and I really enjoyed it a lot. In the afternoon, because we were doing a lot of exercise, Marjorie and I, we went to the local nature reserve, which is also situated near Glengarriff. It actually is just 15 minutes outside the town centre. And there are several different walks and hikes you can do. I think it's 4 to 6 different walks you can do. The first little hike up a hill we did was Lady Bantry's Lookout, and as you can see, it's quite charming, and the views are really wonderful because it's surrounded by green, and yet you can see the ocean from the lookout, and it's lovely with the stone steps, and you could just imagine a Lady Bantry sneaking up there to visit her secret lover or something like that. So it was really, really nice going up there. Um, there also is like a lot of little rivers and streams going everywhere, so it was kind of wonderful for Marjorie and I to be there because she could like drink and cool herself down everywhere. So if you have a dog and you're worried about the temperatures, it's never like really over 20 degrees, and there's usually a cool breeze as well from the ocean. So, and as I said, there's a lot like rivers and streams where your dog can cool itself down. What I personally enjoyed the most after Lady Bantry's Lookout was a small, I think it's 1.5 hours, 2 hours walk along a big meadow, and it literally is called the Big Meadow Walk. And it really, you go and you can see from the footage that I show you, there are little streams everywhere. The sounds are really, really nice because it's really quiet. You can't hear much noise. You don't even hear like the street. So through that nature reserve, now and then there goes a street through there, but the Big Meadow Walk avoids the streets, and there are not a lot of people as well. So it's a nice, chilling, calming walk with um, that gives yourself a little peace and harmony and transports you really to enjoy all that nature has to offer. So it's really, really worth a visit, and it doesn't cost anything. Um, and also, like, really enjoy just sitting there some moments and enjoy what nature gives you and soundscape. It took us, I think, about 2.5 hours because I always like stop and see and like to capture with my camera what I adore most about um, nature and what it presents to us. Um, Also, we met a nice couple there, which uh, always is nice because since I'm traveling alone, it's always nice to meet with locals and get their opinion and stuff. And it turns out the um, husband of this couple is Austrian as well, which also like reminds you somehow how small the world is sometimes. But apart from exploring, we had pretty much a 5 day work week. So a morning routine was going out and having a morning walk. Every day we would meet Teddy, and Marjorie and Teddy really liked each other and would play for like 5 minutes. And then we would go on and have a small walk. Usually, this walk would include, at the end of it, my meditation and my yoga practice. And I thought it was always really nice to have done this in the morning before starting the job, if you so want, because it really centered me and I was able to have a few minutes that were purely to myself and where I didn't need to focus on anything else but myself. And then what also was amazing every time, of course, was the stunning view and the sounds while doing yoga and meditate. And afterwards, I felt really pumped and invigorated to get the job done. My job with Derek included basically this mobile home that you are seeing right now, cleaning it, cleaning it from top to bottom, meaning from the ceiling to the windows to the floor to the side walls, doors, handles, everything, because it hasn't been cleaned for 2 years, and he was expecting two other guests the next week. So I felt very proud after seeing the result when everything was done, and it smelled so nice and it looked lovely. And I hope the next people living in there will enjoy their stay a lot. And after working, usually we would start work at around 10 o'clock, and then we would be ready to do an after work evening walk at around like 5 or say 6 in the evening. Usually, this walk was the so called fairy walk. It literally starts right on the opposite of the Perry Inn where our B&B was. So it's on the coast, along the coast in the woods there, and there are houses and small fairies and dwarfs and leprechauns that live in these houses that they situated left and right. and sometimes they are easy to see, and sometimes you get like surprised when you turn around and were able to discover another one that you haven't seen before. And even though I walked this path, I think 4 or 5 times, the last time I walked it, I saw one or two more houses that I haven't seen before. So it's really lovely, and I also witnessed a lot of children that um, that were effectively looking for those fairy houses and leprechaun houses, and some of them had screams of joy when they discovered one. So, it as someone who really believes that there are like that there are realms of nature entities out there, for me it was a really nice feeling to um, be witness of the joy of children, and also be witness that there are people out there that do this kind of stuff, and make these houses and make it available to see for the public. So this is the end of my video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I really hope that my insights may have yeah, maybe inspired you to come and visit Glengarriff yourself to experience it. I myself will surely come back, because I met a few people who invited me back as well. So I've been only there a week, but I made a couple of friends already, and I'm looking forward to going back there and absolutely for sure make the ferry walk again. And for now, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days. Thank you for joining with my adventures, seeing and reading my blog. Thank you for your support, and all of you out there who are curious about what Marjorie and I am up to every day. So I will keep you posted and updated. If you're interested in more detail about my adventures, I put the link in the description box to my website. And once again, thank you so much. Bye, beloved souls.